Hey, welcome back everyone to another devlog. So on the last video you saw how I started getting back into game development after 2 years, and I started on a new project inspired by anime. If you didn't check out the first video, be sure to check that out. And yeah, it's been good to be back, and let's see what I've been up to. So here we are back inside the game, and you might have spotted him already. Strange flying thingy over there. That's what I worked on this week, enemies. And let's see what happens if I shoot it. It explodes. So yeah, you saw me shooting and stuff, but that's all no fun if you cannot blow things up. So yeah, finally we can blow some things up. So that's what I worked on. It's quite a lot of work because you have to make hurt boxes and hit boxes, and they need to have health, and then they need to die. And then you need to die, so making combat is a lot of work, but yeah, I got pretty decently far. So here's another little enemy, a little imp. Most of the enemies are going to be airborne because yeah, you can see 99% of the screen is air, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of enemies airborne, but there are also going to be some walking enemies. So yeah, here's a little imp, and let's shoot him too. Maybe shoot him with the beam. He looks so innocent, but yeah, let's let him know he shouldn't mess with us. There he goes. There's two other enemies, and yeah, these are not finished yet. I'm not too sure about the graphics too. I'll show you later, but I made a lot of sketches. And these enemies can shoot at you. They're a little bit more challenging, and I'm a pro, so I can easily kill them. But yeah. It's just nice to kind of have a little bit more of a challenge and see how that looks. I'm still not sure the types of enemies. Should they shoot? Or shouldn't they shoot? Should they move? Should these flying little angels move? That's all things I need to experiment with. But so far it's pretty fun blowing up enemies, and I want to show you something really cool. You know the beam. In the last devlog I showed you we can curve the beam, and yeah, that's not just because it's cool, it actually has a purpose. And let's see if we can shoot all these 3 angels here in a row in one shot. Yes, I did it. I had to do a take 3 times because I kept missing them, but I did it, and it feels so satisfying to shoot the beam like that. Curve it, hit all the enemies, and later on you're gonna get combos for making multiple kills in one shot, and yeah, you'll be rewarded with energy, and then you can level up, and that's something for later. But for now it feels pretty fun, and let's see if we can make a really cool kill with this one. Almost. Let's give it another try. Oh, no energy. Have to charge up. This one is still really difficult to aim. Ooh, but when you do it, it feels very satisfying. So yeah, that's a little hint of the combat. Now let's take a little look behind the screens. So what I also did is I went to a local game developer meetup, and yeah, I took the game with me, let people play it, because I was really curious if they could actually control the game well, because yeah, I made the game and I know exactly how it works. So for me the controls are very easy, but for other people I wasn't too sure if it's really that straightforward. So I think it's really good to playtest very early into the game. And yeah, the responses were good. People liked the game. Actually a whole crowd formed behind me to look at the game. I've been stuck inside the house for 2 months. I got a little bit shy, but yeah, it was good. Got good feedback, and people, they understood the game, they understood the controls, so that's good to know. And I'm sure to be going next month again to show everything that I've made in the last month, and hopefully it's a little bit more playable. Hopefully there will actually be a game loop. So here we are in Sprite, where I make all my art, and specifically where I made the enemies this time. And you can see our little flapping enemy that we saw on the screen flying around, and that we killed, poor thing. And yeah, he kind of looks like a heavenly creature, maybe like an angel. and that's what I will be going for. So before you start to think about enemies, you need to think about the world and the story and the theme of the game. And yeah, the story that I cooked up is, if we go back to Monkey Mountain here, that our little friend Kugo, the monkey, he lives here, and he's just living his life peaceful, not a worry in the world. And suddenly these comets here start falling down from the sky, and these strange heavenly creatures start attacking him. And yeah, he needs to defend himself and kind of, yeah, kill these or defeat these enemies, these heavenly enemies. And yeah, that's the story that I'm going with. Most of the enemies are going to be heavenly themed. There might be some other types of enemies in the other stages, but the general theme for the enemies is going to be heavenly warriors that are attacking the players. And there is a reason for that in the story, like the heavenly creature. I don't want to call it a god, but the heavenly leader, not sure what you should call him. He is enraged and he's attacking the whole world pretty much, and it's an invasion. The whole world is being invaded by these creatures. So that's the theme that I went for, and I made a little mood board with yeah, a lot of art here and also some pictures that I took, because a lot of this is inspired by my trip to Vietnam and to Thailand. So yeah, here are some things that I saw. These four-headed statues and strange masks, and I saw this really cool dragon. Look at that, that's a cool dragon. And yeah, I felt very inspired by that. And also this strange bird, that's so cool. So kind of the theme that I'm going for is divine creatures, and not like the Western interpretation with smooth skin and very pure. A little bit more rough around the edges, and a lot of ornaments. So a lot of necklaces like this, and jewelry. Yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm going for. That's what I felt inspired by during my trip to Southeast Asia. And yeah, it's always good to have a little mood board like this. This program is called Obsidian, if everyone is wondering. It's really nice. And it's always nice to have a little mood board, because if we go to look at the other enemies, you can see I kind of lost I kind of lost the theme, especially on this last one that I showed you. This is one of the stronger enemies that can actually shoot you. And yeah, he looks a little bit too alien, and if I go back and forth between this and this one, you can see it's kind of there, but I think it needs more ornaments. Right now it looks a little bit too clean, a little bit too alien like. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this guy. I think he's pretty cool, but I'm not completely feeling it. But the first enemy, I'm feeling this one. Yeah, I am feeling this one. I think it can use a little bit more ornaments, but it's good for a first basic enemy. It looks simple. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I need to make it a little bit bigger because it's kind of hard to hit in the game. But yeah, then we have our little imp guy. Look at this guy, isn't he cute? And yeah, you can see the theme is there again. He's very simple, but he does have earrings, because yeah, that's kind of the thing I was going for, with a lot of ornaments. And he looks a little bit evil, but that's because the imp is like the most basic creature in the game world. It's not good, it's not evil, it's completely still shapeable. It can become a good creature, it can become an evil creature. He's kind of like the base for all beings, for all, I guess, heavenly beings or beings in the universe, something like that. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this guy. And I actually made a lot of sketches, and you can kind of see how I came to this idea. So the first thing I wanted to make was some sort of logo, some sort of emblem for the enemies. So I came up with these 3 eyes, and I don't quite like this, but I wanted something with 3 eyes because that's what I saw a lot during my trip in Asia. And I felt kind of inspired by that. 3 eyes, it feels very heavenly, like yeah, us humans, or yeah, most mammals have only 2 eyes. So if there's a 3rd eye, that feels like a higher being. And yeah, I was experimenting with some sort of emblem for that, and yeah, I didn't get anything that I liked, but it was good to experiment. You could see I was slowly starting to make some things that look a little bit more like creatures, and I think this looks pretty cool, but it looks a little bit too mechanical. I do like this one, but yeah, it looks a little bit mechanical, and I really like this one. So this one I just started drawing, and he kind of came out of nowhere, and later on I realized, this is actually inspired by something that I saw. I wasn't aware of this, but yeah, it's inspired by a thing I saw in Thailand. Let me search it up. So yeah, in Thailand there are a lot of these big guardian statues, and they look really cool, and yeah, I think they were kind of in the back of my mind while I was drawing this. I might have seen this because yeah, I was making the mood board, and I'm not sure if he's on here, but I might have stumbled upon this, and subconsciously he went into my mind, and this guy came out, and you can see there are some things there, but it's not a direct reference. They both kind of look like guards, and yeah, I really like this one. This one has everything that I was searching for. It looks like a higher being, it looks mythical, and it has the right amount of ornaments. And yeah, I think this is a good kind of placeholder to guide all the other enemies off. So I think I need to keep looking at this one if I want to improve the other enemies. And yeah, then I started to experiment with a flying enemy. I wanted a flying enemy, and you can see I just stole this center part for the other enemies, because yeah, I want to have a coherent theme going on between the enemies. I thought this looked a little bit too much like a robot. I do like it now that I look at it again, but yeah. Then you can see the other enemies starting to shape up, and yeah, this is what I ended up with. Made some other colors as well, and yeah, in the end I don't quite exactly like it. It is unique. I think it needs a little bit more work. And yeah, this is also a flying enemy, but it's actually just the head of the of the other one that I just showed you earlier. Yeah, it's just the head, so I was kind of cheating there. And yeah, you can see I was just experimenting a lot with everything. So here I came up with the little imp. You can see it started up a little bit too robot-like at first again, but yeah, then I got the imp, and I was experimenting. Should it have a mouth? Maybe this will be another variation. Maybe this will be like a jumping version. And yeah, played around a lot with different enemy designs. And in the end, I was only able to make a few. I do like this one. This is based off a real angel. Let's see. This one. This is like a biblical angel, how it is described in the Bible. But I think I'm playing with fire there. I should be really careful. I don't want to make any direct references. I don't want to offend anyone. Religion is a very touchy subject. And if you have to kill angels in the game, I have to be very, very careful with that. There is no tie-in with real religion. I don't hate religion. I don't want to kill all angels. It's just a theme that I came up with. It's kind of a reflection of my own situation, because I have the problem with my hands, and sometimes it feels like I'm being punished by a heavenly creature, like I'm cursed, or someone up there doesn't like me and cursed my hands. So sometimes I feel angry, and I want to display my anger to that heavenly creature. Yeah, it sounds very silly, but that's kind of how I came up with the theme for the game. I'm just very angry inside. So one other thing I started on is the main menu, and look over here. What does this say? It says Invoke Super, and yeah, that's the title that I have in mind for the game right now. So Invoke Super, it means like engage your super from within. Invoke, it's something that comes from deep within you. So yeah, it's obviously a reference to Dragon Ball Super Saiyan. So I thought that's a cool name. Invoke Super, like activate your super modes. Invoke is quite a difficult English word, so I'm not too sure yet, but let me know inside the comments. Do you like the name or not? And yeah, I was thinking about some other names, maybe Fueled by Rage or Fueled by Fury. It sounds quite nice, those two F's, Fueled by Fury, but it has fuel in it. You start to think about, does it have something to do with motor engines? It doesn't, so that might not be a good name. So yeah, let me know what you think of the name. And yeah, I started working on a little menu screen because at the game meetup that I went to, it would have been nice to have a menu so I can actually choose single player or multiplayer, or choose one scene with enemies and one scene with no enemies. That would have been quite useful, so I thought, let's make a little menu. But while I was making it, I realized it's too early. I don't have a very clear image of the theme yet, because I know it's about heavenly beings, and should I reflect that in the interface? Should there be some heavenly things in the interface as well? I realized I don't have enough of a graphical identity yet for the game to know how I should design this interface. So I'm just going to keep it very simple, just have something bare bones, just so I can select some things when I bring the game to meetups. So that's it for the devlog. I talked a lot, my throat is a little bit dry, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the devlog. I think I've been mumbling around a little bit too much, but yeah, you can have an idea of the theme of the game, the enemies that I thought of, how did I think of those. I think it was good to explain that. And yeah, for the next devlog, I hope I can make some more enemies and I can get an actual game loop going, where you can actually play the game, die, get points, things like that. And oh, my head is out of the frame. I hope that didn't happen the whole video. Oh well, I'm not gonna record all of this. I talked a lot, so thanks for watching, and let me know what you think of the enemies. Do you have some ideas or some references, maybe other heavenly or angelly things that you saw? Maybe you went to Asia as well, or Japan, or South America. Those have some cool folklore as well. Yeah, just leave it down there in the comments. Maybe it will be good inspiration for me, and we'll see you again in the next video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye.